Welcome! E aí, galera, beleza? Bem-vindo à nossa comunidade.
Welcome to our community.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is OGC here. Today we have another new hero spotlight. This is updated for 2020. So there is a hero spotlight playlist, an updated one for 2020. Go check that out. That's on the channel. Keep in mind whenever we do these that there are going to be new changes, so the best thing you can do to get the most up-to-date information is hit the subscribe button. That way whenever there's new relevant information out, I can deliver it to you. You can take that information and make the adjustments that are needed. So for today, we are going to be looking at Avalon. Avalon is a general hero, and what a general hero does is it really helps out your troops quite a bit. You can get Avalon just by starting out the game. I highly recommend having him as your starting hero for so many reasons, and some of those reasons we'll dive into later on. However, you're going to get him for free. You don't need to spend anything to get him. Enjoy Avalon, he's a great hero. His main purpose in deployment is to benefit humanoid troops, if you're using humanoid troops, and to deliver Warhorn to nearby range DPS. I guess melee DPS also works, but he is pretty much almost always going to be used, and he just offers massive movement speed and attack speed to everything that is around him through his Warhorn ability. Also in the Void, he's super useful for doing those 2 or 3 heroes or possibly 4 heroes or less sages because of his natural leader ability, allowing him to deploy 3 troops when he's on the battlefield. Anyways, let's jump into the rest. Now, when it comes to gears for Avalon, he has his craftable set. If you want more information, by the way, on any of these sets and how to obtain them, there's a awesome video. It should be linked at the end or somewhere. If you search for OGC gear sets, it will pop up and it will tell you exactly how to get these different types of gear sets. So for the craftable gear set, what it does is the 3P set, the hero deploys bonus. Friendly units plunder resources 10% faster. So this is wonderful for attacking garrisons. You're going to get more resources. However, for this set, it's really not super useful in PvP or anything else in the game. But since it is the craftable set, you can get these flawless very easily. We also have the Dragon set. So the Dragon set allows the morale of nearby troops will not collapse for 20 seconds at the start of the battle. So if you're playing humanoids or anything that has morale that can collapse, this is a wonderful set. I know that the 5-star staple can, or whatever star staple, can allow for ranged troops to not have morale collapse. However, this will actually affect monks and spears as well, and also miners. So this is a wonderful set to consider if you are worried about morale collapsing. And the final set that's available for right now is actually going to be the general set for Clash of Fate. So what this does is it gives a protective shield to nearby allies that block 1 instance of damage coming that equals 20% of the unit's max health. This is a fantastic gear for its use on it. And the reason why it's fantastic is pretty much at the start of the fight when you have Avalon near all of your squishy DPS, this is going to make it so that, say, Heroic Leap from Rufio, you won't get damage from that. You'll still take damage from Leo's Pride, but you're not going to take damage from the Heroic Leap. This is just going to add a tiny bit of survivability to all the troops that are near Avalon, which pretty much cover his Warhorn radius, and this also affects your Dragon. Now, when it comes to the Drake set, the Drake set for generals is not out at the time of recording this video, so if you're watching this in the future, tune in because there is going to be a separate video that goes over the Drake set for generals once it is released. There are also some really unique items for Avalon that I think are super beneficial. So the first one is going to be the Heaven's Edge. If you are playing anything with humanoids, this will allow the start of the battle. One of the troops is going to get a moral boost possibly. This also has really good stats with 23 in command. I think that the ring is also super powerful on Avalon because it offers 15% bonus damage to nearby friendly hero range units. So again, it's kind of like Warhorn, where your main DPS is going to be placed near Avalon. I think that this is actually better than the +1 to Archer Mastery, but you can also do both at the same time. And there is also the necklace for the life leech or whatever. This will also give a lot of survivability to your ranged units or whatever troops nearby Avalon. For other useful +1 gears, there is a +1 to aura. It's the goblet. This is normally an epic item. You cannot craft this. You'll have to get this from the world, but it offers +1 to aura. So if you are using the humanoid race, this can be beneficial to boost up the health of all of your humans. There's also a craftable trinket that offers +1 to Warhorn, and this is the badge of gallantry. There's also another craftable trinket that offers +1 to Archer Mastery. This is the Warhorn, or the Titanic Warhorn. And there is also, in the high levels of Void, a +1 to Aura. This is the General's Compass. This actually has pretty good stats overall. And it is also worth pointing out that he also has a banner, the Imperial banner, that offers +1 to Archer Mastery if you prefer to free up another trinket spot. Now, when it comes to artifacts for Avalon, I think that there's a few different options for him that are super beneficial. The one that I like the most for Avalon is actually going to be the Sky Totem. So the reason why I like the Sky Totem on Avalon is because the Sky Totem places the totem near the actual hero, and it should actually benefit the troops that's nearby. You want this to benefit your ranged troops because they generally deal more damage than your melee troops. And with Avalon, depending on how he's positioned on the battlefield, if he's placed in the back half, he's going to hang back with the ranged troops. If he's placed in the front half, he's going to run forwards with all of your melee troops. So if you have him placed in the back half to keep him relatively safe, then he should hang out by all of your ranged troops and be able to drop the Sky Totem right on top of your ranged troops, and that's ideally what you want. The other things to consider for him, if you are putting him up towards the front, would be the 2-star or higher Cilantris. There's actually a bunch of different options you can go with him, but I think those two are the primary ones that you can see. Now, as far as the prisms, if you place Avalon in the back half of the battlefield where he hangs back with all of the ranged troops, then I highly recommend considering to put on a type of prism that's going to give you an overall boost. So with prisms, for the benefits of the prisms, the hero has to be alive. So if the hero dies, then the effects of the prism will disappear. So if you have something like the Dragon Mage set or something along those lines, then you'll want to have it on a hero that's going to live as long as possible. If Avalon's hanging out in the back, he should be able to live for a decent portion of time, so it frees up a lot of different prism possibilities for him. As far as Avalon skills, the first one that we have is Arrow Volley. And this shoots out a bunch of arrows. They land on the battlefield. They do some damage. It should be fire damage. And I think this is somewhat good early on in the game. Later on, it's really not useful at all. The next one is Summon Archers. So Summon Archers will summon archers to the battlefield when you use it. It's not a bad skill for things like Dragon Abyss. It's actually much needed. And the higher up you go in this skill, the better quality and the higher level of the archers that you will actually summon. This is needed for the Dragon's Abyss, and I guess you can go with this when it comes to PvP if you're playing Lich or something that doesn't need any boost to humanoids. Next, there is Warhorn. So Warhorn is Avalon's staple. This will affect pretty much every single army type out there. What this does is the troops and heroes and dragon, everything that's around Avalon is going to have increased attack speed by 120% for 8 seconds at the start of the battle. That's a huge boost. It's absolutely massive. Next, there's Archer Mastery. So if you are using archers, always have the masteries. If you're using a troop type and they have a mastery available, use them. So if you are using archers, have the mastery. Then we have the aura. So this affects more than just the humans. This affects Rockin, it affects Sylph if they're using the archers. This affects Dwarf for miners and snipers. This will essentially increase the health of all humanoid units. This is huge. Again, it's a mastery, so if you're using any type of humanoids, then you're going to want to have this aura. And finally, we have Natural Leader. Probably the biggest thing with Natural Leader at the start of the game is it allows you to place 3 units out. So normally if you place a hero, you can only place 2 units. Like one hero allows you to place 2 units. For the Void, for those levels where it's so many heroes or less, this is huge, and this is why Avalon's always going to be used, not just for the Warhorn, but because you place Avalon and you can place 3 units. He's the only hero that has this, so it's huge. Also, early on in the game, this is huge because you can increase your bronze cap drastically. So, great skill overall for Avalon. So when it comes to using Avalon on the battlefield, you can see that there is 2 different colors on the grid. In the front portion, it's a light green. If you place Avalon up here in this light green and you go to start the battle, you'll see Avalon runs forwards into the enemies. However, if we do the same exact thing and we click on Avalon and we have the 2 different colors, the light green and the more tealish, and we move Avalon back into the tealish and we start the battle, we'll notice that Avalon will hang back while everything else runs forwards. So that's kind of probably the biggest takeaways from Avalon. For the archers and stuff, I don't think that's the primary purpose of him. It can be pretty good. Now let's see what happens if we place Avalon. So he's half and half on the front, half on the back. He runs forwards. So there's only a limited space to place Avalon. If you want him to hang out in the back, it would be something like here, 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 or here. That's a lot of here's. Here, here. And for my example build for Avalon, I am running with a few different items. I have the Moral Increase Sword, the Heaven's Edge, and this is for Dwarf, mind you. I also have the 3-piece Clash of Fate General set, so this will offer some damage reduction, even if it's a one-time thing for troops that are placed nearby him. We have the ring to increase our range damage, which is just massive. And for humans, you can go with the ring there, and also the +1 to Archer Mastery banner. Then we have the Dracula's thing on for lifesteal, so that should affect the snipers. We have the Sky Totem on just to increase the damage drastically. And we have essentially a second Warhorn through the Prisms. And with this Prism setup, it lasts longer than Warhorn. So Warhorn is only 8 seconds. With the Prism setups, it lasts for 30. So in total, I get an extra 26% attack speed. That on top of usually winning command for an additional 30. My snipers shoot really fast. Now, as far as the abilities that I roll with, the summon archers, if I was Lich or even Sylph, I would consider doing that. Or if I was doing the Dragon's Abyss, I'd bring that up. But for general PvP, I'm going with the 9 out of 9 Warhorn, and I decided not to use the trinket because I wanted both the Dracula's thing and the ring on, so that's the sacrifice there, along with the 9 out of 9 for the aura. Again, I could have it at 10, but I'm choosing to go with the Dracula's ring so that they have more sustain rather than just higher health. And Natural Leader, that can be at 1, but I choose just keep it at 5. That way I can rebuild my army faster. Jeez, I'm butchering all of my words. So that is Avalon Spotlight updated for 2020. I hope you guys enjoy. At the end of the video, there will be a playlist link. So if you want to see more hero spotlights that have been updated, go check that out. We'll have plenty more every single week coming out. If you guys don't mind, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe if you have not subscribed already. In the description of this video and all videos, we have a ton of good information, including the Facebook page, the Discord, the merch store, and also the Patreon's link. So thank you to all the Patreons out there. They help supplement everything and make all of this possible. So with that, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys soon.